Hi everyone. For today, I have picked up the question number 3, and this question is about finding the longest substring in a given character set. So let's look into the problem. Okay, so in this question, we'll be given a string which will have repeating characters, and then we have to find out the longest distinct substring. And if we look at this example, the longest substring without any repeating character is ABC, and that's why the output is 3. And if we look at the second example, in this example we have only one character which is distinct or non-repeating, which is B. So in order to solve this problem, I'm going to use the sliding window technique. Let me first put the example here that and see how that will work. So we can put our example here. We would need a couple of things in the sliding window technique. For example, when we are moving from left to right, we have to keep adjusting our left pointer. Then we also need to create a variable uh, where we are going to store all the character which we are crossing through. So we can call that variable list. And we need an iterator, and we can call that I. And let's put the index here. All right. So once we start iterating through the list, the first at the first place, the I will be 0, left will be 0, and my list is going to have A. So as we are going through the element, we have to keep adding that element in our list, the variable we have created. So once I is at 1, then our list is still 0. The only event when we are increasing the left counter is when we remove the element from the list. So that's one of the criteria we have to use. And then this will be AB. Then once I is at 2, my list is still 0 because we haven't come across any character which is repeating so far, and my list will have A, B, C. Now we came across I equal to 3, and we have this character A, and that character has come before in the previous iteration, and we also have that character in the list. So what we have to do is we have to remove that character from our variable. So we can and once we remove the character from our list, we have to increase the counter for left. So now my left will be 1, and once we remove it from the left side, we also have to add this element. So now my list will look like B, C, A. Okay, so let's keep moving through the element. Once I is at 4, and the fourth element is B, and we have B in our list, so that also we have to remove. And once we remove it, we also have to add the new B element in our list. And while removing and adding, the left counter will increase by 1 because we are removing one element here. So my left counter is equal to 2, and then this will become CAB. Okay, now I is at C, and we have that character as well in our list. So again we are going to remove one element from the list, so my left counter will increase, and this will become A, B, C, because we also have to add the new element, the current element in our list. All right, um, now I is at 6, and we have B here. We have the B in our list, but it's not towards the left end, right? So we have to keep removing the element from our list until we come across B and remove that as well. So in order to remove the B from our list, we have to iterate 2 times. First we have to remove A, and then we have to remove B. So that way my left counter will increase 2 times. So my left counter will become 5, and now I'll have C and this current element B. Okay, so if we keep moving forward, I will be 7, and the seventh element is b, and we have to remove that as well, right? So in order to remove the b, we have to keep iterating through the list element. So first we have to remove c, and then we also have to remove b. Then at the end it will become a like a blank. I mean, it's basically blank, and my left counter will increase by 2, so that will become 7. So this is how the iteration will work on the given character set, and with each iteration we have to maintain the maximum of length, and maximum length will be left minus I plus 1 always. So let's write down the program. Okay, so this is the previous program. Let me create a new file, and we will call this file longest substring.py, and we can use this example for our scenario. Okay, so my function name would be def longest substring, and we will take this as input. And okay, so the first thing we have to define is our list, and then we have to start we also have to have the left variable, which will be initiated with 0, and then we'll have I. We can use the I directly in the loop itself, and we also have to decide the max length with each iteration, and at the end of the loop that max length is going to be our answer. So let's initiate the max length equal to 0. Now we can go through the loop. Okay, so let's write down for I in range, we'll start from 0, and this will be the length of s. All right. Okay, so we are going through the character list, and also when we are going through the character list, we are checking if that character is present into our list or not, and if it is present we have to remove it, and when we are removing it we are increasing the left pointer by 1. And in our example we have seen that if our character, the current character, comes at the second position or third position, we have to iterate that many times in that list to remove that character. So the syntax here will be like while s I in the list, we'll keep removing it. So we have to keep removing the element from the list until we find the current element in our list. So what we can do is we can use the remove function, and we will remove it from the left. So we will use the left pointer, and also when we are removing it we have to keep increasing the left point. All right, so this will remove our element from the list if we come across the same element down the line. Then the other thing we have to do is we have to, if we don't find the element, then we have to keep adding it in the list. So what we can do is list dot append s of I. All right, and then we can just determine the maximum length. So our maximum length will be what? Maximum maximum length will be equal to max of maximum length I minus left plus 1. So I is nothing but basically the pointer which is greater than the left, so we are removing right minus left plus 1. We can also call I as a right, and that will be our answer. So at the end what we can do is we can just return the max length. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so we have an error here. Okay, so I think the error is happening when we are removing the element. We are not removing the pointer, we are removing the element at that location or pointer. So we will use this. So we are picking up the first element in the given string and removing that from the list. Like when we came across this situation, we came across the character B, and then when we had to remove the character B from ABC, we had to iterate through A and then B in order to remove the B. All right, let's run it if this is working or not. Okay, this is working, and we can test it on another example like AAA. Okay, this is working on that example as well. So the time complexity on this approach is 2n, because at worst we'll be entering one element and removing one element, and the space complexity would be m, which can be either equal to n or less than n. Okay, so this is one way, and in order to reduce the time complexity, we can change this program to be even more optimal. Look at our example here. Okay, so I'm talking about the scenario where we are hopping more than once in the list to remove the element. So instead of doing that, what we can do is we can create a hash table or dictionary, and get the value and also their location, so that if we come across the same character again, then we can just update our hash table with that new occurrence of character, and that would be my left pointer, the new left pointer. Let's modify the existing program to convert that into the optimal one. We'll go back to the query editor. What we will do is we'll copy the same function and we'll modify this for that other solution. We can call this long substring optimal, and we will add few more variables here so that it will work based on our new approach. So we are creating a new pointer, new variable, right, equal to 0, and this time we are going to put the characters in the dictionary, and we'll also note the location of those elements. So let's call this character dictionary. Okay, and when we are going through the loop, what we have to do is we have to check for the element which is si into the dictionary, and if we find the element in the dictionary, then we have to update our left location, and that we can do using dictionary variable, and we will look for the last occurrence of same element, so that we can find out using si, because si is my current element, and we'll increase it by 1. So now we are increasing our left from the last location, and what we can do is we will also update our dictionary and remove the last occurrence of same element. So what we can do is we can use the pop function, and we will use si, and we'll come out of if condition. Once we are out of the if condition, we also have to add this new element and the new index. So in order to add this, what we can do is we will just use the same syntax. We will treat the element as a key and the index of that element as a value. Okay, so this will store this as a new element in the dictionary, and then let's call that I is equal to right. So right is basically my right pointer, which is equal to I, and we will remove this because that was the code based on the list. And in the max length, we will change this to right. The other option is that like we don't have to create this new variable, right? We can instead just use I, but this is for better interpretation and understanding. We can use this variable. Let's use the function and see if this is working or not. All right, so this function is also working, and in this function the time complexity will be n because we are only iterating through the loop once. Other than that, we are entering the element in the dictionary and we are just updating our left pointer. We are not iterating through the entire dictionary to find out our current element. Thanks for watching my video. Let me know if you have any question. Thank you.